What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the I Need a Sports podcast. We got it. Y'all need it. You already know what it is. Back again with another episode, recapping NFL Week 5. Got to talk about college football, that Red River game that just happened. Probably going to talk about some postseason MLB too, man. Y'all see my boy Cam's shirt.
Hey, man.
Filming this live about an hour after Jordan just walked them boys off. Crushing defeat for Seattle. They thought they had one. They thought. But yeah, man, like I said, last pod episode, we we had a wager on the Red River game. Both our seasons are over with as far as college football playoff. Texas is still open. They can make a run at the Big 12. I think they might have a strong chance to do it now that Ewers is back. But yeah, man, to put it in simplest terms, they beat the absolute dog shit out of Oklahoma this weekend. 49-0, completely shut out. For that, hook 'em horns, Burt Orch till I die looking at him.
Yes,
I still gotta stop by my boy house and go pick up a shirt so I can wear it for a podcast episode. We wasn't able to get connected yet this week. But yeah, man. I literally had texted him before the game. I was like, I don't know. Like, I guess they said Dylan Gabriel, they knew he wasn't playing earlier in the week from the concussion protocol, but they had him go out there and warm up with the ones. So I don't know if that was just to kind of trick Texas, but the way Bevel plays as a backup, I don't know why you'd even try to use that as a scare tactic, because it's the second he stepped out there on the field, I knew the game was over. I didn't think it was going to be that bad, but the fact the tight end was throwing the ball more than Bevel and from that wildcat formation just lets you know what they thought of Bevel's passing ability. Texas put their whole foot in OU ass from the very jump. And then the one time OU did have a chance to score, it was at the 25, 30-yard line. They run a jump pass.
It's crazy.
Like on a 1st and 10 after they just got positive yards back-to-back plays with the Wildcat running. Like, just stick with that if that's all we can get. But yeah, man. Go ahead and get your little victory lap in for your boys, man. I know you're excited. It's been a minute since UT got the one. But they did it, and they did it well. So props to y'all.
Yes, sir, man. You know, we had to bring that golden hat back to Austin, man. Had to bring it back to Austin. It was just beautiful to see. Just beautiful. I love it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hopefully next year it's at least a more competitive game.
Yeah, facts.
And hopefully, because I'm Dylan Gabriel gone after this year. Hopefully, OU. I don't know if it want to be Evers or General Booty, but it need to be one of them back there. Not Bevel. Dude was 3rd string at Pitt last year, so if you 3rd string at Pitt, I don't know what makes him the backup now at OU.
Yeah,
I said, they obviously know he can't throw the ball. So, I mean, at this point, the season was over with before the game Saturday. You might as well throw in the other guys just to see what you got, because they can't possibly be that bad to where they could do the same shit, not throw the ball with anybody back there. So, blew my mind. But, yeah, that's the type of season OU definitely in shambles. They got to rebuild for sure. It's very tough because they've been a solid program for the last 5 years now with Lincoln. Of course, he left to USC. Was looking really good. But, yeah, man, it's going to be an interesting turnaround. See if Britt Venables can get any type of positive motion going, moving here on out from the rest of the season. They got Kansas this weekend, so if Kansas won the loss this past week in the TCU, I would be rooting for Kansas. Now it's like, I really don't care who wins. And news just came out earlier today. We lost Jalen Daniel for the season. So it's like, well, damn, tough. Like, being the backup who used to be the starter last year, he looked pretty good when he came into the TCU game. So I don't expect it to fall off too much, but like, Jalen Daniel was damn near making the case for a Heisman being the Heisman winner. So it's definitely tough to see him go. But that's enough of college football, man. let's jump into this NFL weekend week 5 recap. Then we got a special surprise for y'all, man. We bringing all the boys back.
Yes, sir.
I'm last probably like 4 or 5 episodes now. We brought on our boys Cam, the two Cams, and we bringing Chris on. We about to have them duke it out. Got Dallas versus Philly this week, literally for the division lead of the NFC. It's gonna be nice. But first, we're gonna get into our little recap of week 5 and how everything went down for our bets and whatnot. So started off with that Thursday night game. That
Ugh.
might have been the worst primetime game that I could think of in recent memory. That shit was awful from start to finish. 12-9, 7 straight field goals. I think it was like something crazy, like 17 punts. The punters got all their money's worth from their contract that game right there for the whole season. Like that game was so awful. I was just hoping and praying somebody, please. Well, I mean, I wasn't hoping and praying that somebody just scored for real, because I bet the under. But still, I was like, dang, like, can't nobody get one touchdown? I even bought like a half a point to make it under 44. I didn't even need to do that. The over was in no jeopardy of hitting at all whatsoever. I also hit Russell Wilson's prop. I figured he would have to run the ball a little bit to get them going. He did, but I mean, it still ended in a field goal. He looked awful again. News came out afterwards. I think it was Friday morning or something, like, oh, he's dealing with a partially torn muscle in his like labrum or something. Like, ain't nobody trying to hear that. He out
Yeah,
there playing, and his labrum don't have nothing to do with him completely missing the game-winning read. KJ Hamler wide open,
wide
like
open.
butt naked open, and he's staring down Sutton the whole time and throws a completely contested ball, and they lose the game. I love it as a Chiefs fan because literally they're trying to hand us the division at this point. Chargers almost lost this week too. It wasn't for Jacoby Brissett making yet another game losing mistake. But yeah, man, touch on them Denver boys, because you called it. You said Russell Wilson was not a top 10 QB anymore. I
Nope.
fought against it, and I was wrong, dead wrong. He don't even look like a top 15 quarterback, maybe even top 20 quarterback at this point. And Seattle, they knew they were right to get rid of him, and Geno Smith balling out for them. So yeah, man. What do you feel watching that game? Because I know it wasn't nothing exciting. Like, we didn't even choose to go out to eat for this one, and I'm glad we did it, because that would have been a waste of money and some gas. Go ahead and talk on
uh,
this one.
nah, dead ass. Like it was just so disgusting seeing all these field goals and the Colts coming out on top winning. But like I said, man, I knew the Broncos was gonna be the worst team in that division. I knew Russ didn't have it. You can tell he didn't have it anymore. In in Seattle, like the last season that he played in, even though he was kind of hurt or whatever, but still, you could just tell Russ just sees he just does he don't have it anymore. And I don't, like I was telling you, I don't want to give him all the blame because it's all not on him, because that coach needs some blame too, because it's the offense, it just doesn't fit Russ' scheme. Like I was telling you, Russ like, what's Russ most famous for? Like, he's an improviser. He's the best improviser the league has, one of the leagues that has ever seen. The way he can get out of sticky situations and still like have his eyes downfield and throw dots like that, throw crazy passes. That's what he's good for. That's what he's known of in Seattle. And this coach, his offense is not like that at all. Like, is making, pretty much making one read, getting the ball out your hand quick, and that's not how Russ plays. Maybe he gets to change it. He said one thing about him, he always gonna figure it out, but I don't see it happening.
As he walked, let's rock.
Let's
You can tell his heart wasn't even in that one.
Hard not even in it, man. So at least he gets to go home to Sierra though. So
Yeah,
that's a
and
plus.
I mean, hey, I'm just saying. I don't know if we have any Sierra fans that listen to the pod, but I'm just saying. literally since the day they became official and like made it public, and then they got married, Russell Wilson's career has just gone downhill from there. So yeah, happy life, happy wife, but that shit not correlating to what he's producing out there on the field, and it's just getting worse.
It's getting worse,
And let Russ cook. Let's ride. The house is on fire and the ride done broke down. They gotta fix something quick, because if not, this year's a complete waste, and this cap hit is only gonna go up because they guaranteed him $286 million before the season even started. So shout out to his agent, because they definitely finessed Denver and they put them in the hole for probably, they're tied to him through 2027. And if Nathaniel Hackett doesn't change something, he's gonna be out of there, because they're committed to Russ. So he's gonna have to get the boot in that situation there. But yeah, man, they didn't look good. The Colts on the flip side, they still look awful.
Fucking horrible.
They didn't have Jonathan Taylor. We had Naheem Hines on our fantasy team, so they're like, maybe he'll be able to do something this game. No, 5 minutes into the game,
Lily died.
He's looking like Tua out there stumbling. And, now you can't pass no concussion protocol whatsoever if you even look like that. So he was done from the get-go. He finished with 1 point. Matt Ryan still looks 40. He looked like what people think Tom Brady is supposed to look like at 45 right now. He can't move. He can't throw. It's just awful. But they were able to scrape away 4 field goals and get the dub. So they got 2 wins over the AFC West, Broncos and my Chiefs. And that loss just looks worse and worse as time goes by. But yeah, Colts get the dub 12-9 in a very forgettable game. That's enough there. Started off the week 2-0. It was looking good. You know what I'm saying? Bryce was back positive. And then Sunday morning, fresh in London, the Packers sold us for the second week in a row. And I think that put the nail in the coffin of me betting on the Packers this year. Even if they do end up figuring it out and getting shit turned around, I still don't know if I will have the heart to bet on them, just because I'm tired of them losing me money. They're up 20-10 at half. And they really should be up more, but Rodgers missed a couple throws, which not enough people are talking about, in my opinion. There's, Rodgers will get it together. Matt LaFleur will get it. Like, no, Rodgers missed some throws that he didn't miss. I don't care what you try to say about, the receivers, they got to learn. They don't have his trust. No. Dobbs was getting open. There was one key still frame shot, and I know it's a still frame shot, so it's like, of course it's gonna look better. Hindsight 2020, like, he could have made his throw. But literally, they're driving in the red zone. It's 3rd down, and Dobbs is literally, he crossed the face of the defender. He's already got inside leverage, and he starts to stack him. He's wide open. The safety over the top help is still a good 15 to 20 yards away. If the Rodgers we know, he makes his throw 10 times out of 10. He can put it on a rope, doesn't even put his wide receiver in harm of getting lit up by the safety. He passed the ball, holds on to it, instead throws to a contested Lazard, incomplete. Just uncharacteristic plays like that, where even if the team down, you still expect Rodgers, 2-time back-to-back MVP, 4-time total MVP. He needs to make that play, especially like the contract he signed this offseason. You got to make that play. I don't care who out there. Then late in the game, driving, at this point, I know the -8 is sold. Like, they're not getting it because they're down. But then at the same time, it's like they can still win the game because I got them in a personal parlay, which I made a little teaser. And crazy thing is, it was a 5-team teaser. Everything else hit in the teaser except I just need the Packers to win by 2. If they score here, they can win by 2 and win the game. 3rd and 2, they don't run it. 4th and 2, they don't run it. Instead, they put the ball in Rodgers' hand. I don't know if he's audibling off the calls or this is straight up what Matt LaFleur called. But both of them need to be corrected. You have Aaron Jones, who's averaging 6.5 yards per carry that game, and A.J. Dillon, one of the best short yardage backs in the game. In a short yardage situation where they're both averaging over 5 yards per carry throughout the game, you have to hand the ball to them at least once, if not both times, and tell them go get the first down. You have the line to do it. You have the backs to do it. It's unacceptable. Instead, Rodgers takes the matters into his own hands, gets 2 balls batted back to back, game over. Daniel Jones and the Giants are 4-1. And while I still don't want to believe in them, I got to give them credit because in the National Football League, at the end of the day, you got to get wins somehow, some way. And they're getting wins. And the Packers do not look good whatsoever right now. That NFC North is still wide open. Minnesota can really take it, especially since they already have a game lead on them since they beat them head-to-head week 1. I don't know, man. I'm just severely disappointed. I know, he's a bad man, but right now he's looking bad. And like, come on, man. I don't know what it is, but I know that's your guy. So, what you seeing out there from him? Because it don't look like nothing we've really seen from Rodgers before, man. It just looks off.
Yeah, it looks like he just doesn't trust his receivers, and it's kind of crazy because it's like I feel like Dobbs has shown that you can trust him. I mean, he's still a rookie. Even though he messes up every now and then, but he's proven that you can give him the ball, he can get open, and he gonna make a nice catch on the ball. But you could just tell, man, he was only passing to guys that he trusts, like Cobb. It was throwing to Lazard. It's just they should have won this game easily. They, like you said, it was up 20-10. No way you lose to one man again. They lost to one man. Saquon. And the crazy thing about it, he was out with like pretty much like half of the third quarter or something like that.
Yeah, because
Or for like a while.
I think it was his, I want to say it was his quad or something. And he honestly, he didn't even want to get taken out the game. But then the trainers forced him to go back to the locker room. And next you know, he comes sprinting out the tunnel. And I didn't even realize he was back on the field until literally he get back out there and then he catch a swing pass and take it like 30. And I'm like, like they literally have no answer. Like Saquon, I don't like we said on previous episodes, I don't know if he's eligible for comeback player of the year, but he deserves it the way he's playing. And he's really in MVP talks, even though like at this point the MVP is basically a QB award. So I doubt he'll get it. But he's leading the league in yards right now. The only other person that's doing some crazy stuff is Nick Chubb, because Nick Chubb is second, and then Nick Chubb is also third in rushing when you consider his yards after contact, which is just crazy in
That's
itself.
fucking nuts.
I think he has like 415 yards after contact, which is nuts. But them two, if you pick them up in fantasy, you're doing amazing. Eckler's came on these last 2 weeks, but other than that, if you went running back 0 in fantasy, rip to your team because running backs have not looked good whatsoever this year. I don't know what it is with the league. Like even Tom Brady said it last week in his press conference at the game. He was like, it's just a lot of bad football around the league right now. And I don't know if it's because a lot of these defenses have adopted that too deep shell coverage for real, that they employed to stop the Chiefs last year with Tyreek. But a lot of teams are playing it everywhere now versus everyone. And it's like, yeah, run the football. We're daring you to run the football, and teams aren't doing it. There's the Titans also. They've been running the ball well with Derrick Henry, but other than that, no one's really just playing smash mouth football, just running the ball at a consistent basis throughout these first 5 weeks. So the league got to figure something out. The Packers need to figure something out ASAP. Like the NFC, it's still kind of up in the air. There's a lot of good teams, but it's still like, I don't know. We about to find out the true test this weekend between Philly and Cowboys and which one of them is for real or if they're both for real. But other than them, the only other team I feel even semi-threatened by is the Bucks, really. And I guess the 49ers too, but then at the end of the day, you got Jimmy G as quarterback, so you know at any given moment, he can literally hand you the game with some stupid mistakes. I'm still not sold on him. People are like, oh, yeah, Jimmy G, like, he's back to his winning ways. The 49ers found the groove. Like, the Rams look terrible for one. They play the Rams. They always have the Rams number, which we talked about. And then they played Carolina last week, who just fired Matt Rule, rightfully so. Like, that wasn't any real test of competition. They're supposed to go out and whoop them. But yeah, man, Packers got to find something out quick.
Yeah, quick.
Next game up, man. Sheesh. This was one of Cam's first picks.
Shit.
Steelers plus 14.
I see now.
And it did not stand a chance from the jump. When the Bills, I gotta give it to them. There's playing down to competition, but when they play bad teams, they beat the mess out of them. They don't even play around. Close games, they're a question mark. But when there's a bad team on the schedule, they can get them up out of there quick. They start the game crazy. The special teams was just really bad from the jump. So they literally started the game at their own 2-yard line. It's 3rd and 10. Steelers can get a stop, and they'll probably have good field possession, good start to the game. I'm looking at my phone. I look back up. Gabriel Davis is running, shrieking down the field by himself. 98-yard touchdown.
Crazy.
Then later in the game, he catches another one for 60 this time. So Gabriel Davis finished the game, 3 catches, 171 yards, 2 touchdowns. I don't even think the starters played the whole 4th quarter. It was literally over from the jump. They win 38-3. Josh Allen finished with 4 touchdowns. Stephon Diggs even got him one. The defense looked great, but like the Steelers, they really don't pose no threat whatsoever on both sides of the ball. It kind of sucks for Kenny Pickett because like he was thrust into this garbage fire right now, and you're going up against one of the best teams in the NFL, and you still trying to figure things out yourself. He got absolutely demolished. George Pickens did have one notable catch, but that was about the only highlight, if any at all, for the game for Pittsburgh, man. And the plus 14 completely fails. Like I said last episode, I was like, man, they could cover because it's like a steep spread. Like being 2 touchdown underdogs is crazy. Like Vegas is literally saying straight up, y'all suck.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, I was like, the Buffalo Bills been blowing a lot of bad teams out. Like, that's usually what they do. That's exactly what they did. I think they're like something crazy, like plus 96 point spread on the season. So, man, the Buffalo Bills, it's gonna be a test this weekend for my boys. 3:00 primetime game. I'm pretty sure Tony Romo got that game, so it's gonna be a great game, especially called by him. Josh Allen versus Patrick Mahomes. It's probably gonna as far as early MVP voting, it's probably gonna settle the MVP vote because it'll give whoever head-to-head bragging rights. And this game is important for playoff seeding because now that they got the 7 spots and only the first seed gets the bye, no other teams really are looking like they're gonna step up to the plate and be in contention for that first place seed without having like 4 or so losses. So every win counts, and especially the head-to-head for an interconference opponent, it's gonna be tough. My boy's gonna have to pull this one out if they do want to get first place at home field advantage. But at the same time, at the end of the day, I don't think, even if the Bills do win, I don't think it would really, like, of course, social media will break loose. Oh yeah, Josh Allen's better than Patrick Mahomes for sure. This should have happened last year in the playoffs, yada yada yada. But at the end of the day, the Chiefs are 2-0 versus the Bills in the playoffs. In the back of their mind, they'll be like, we'll see them again in the playoffs, and we know what time it is when that time comes. But yeah, man, the Bills, sheesh. Are they the clear-cut Super Bowl favorite, or how you feeling at this point? Because, like, yeah, they beating up on the bad teams, but I don't know. Do you give them as much credit as the media is giving them from the very jump this season, or how you feel about the Bills?
Man, it's like I want to, but I don't. I still don't think there's no clear cut There's no clear cut winner to the Super Bowl right now. Me personally. But it's it's obviously some teams that are like just way better than everybody else. Like, you got those handful of teams that, one team still undefeated, the other teams are 4-1, even though you got the Giants 4-1. That's kind of like that's a
The
fake ass
NFC
4-1.
beast, not the
Yeah.
NFC least.
That's just a fake ass 4-1. But I don't know, man. I gotta see them when they play against good teams, close games. Josh Allen nuts, man. It tightened up sometimes, man. And he makes some wrong decisions. So next week gonna be a big test for them. I can't wait to see that game. I know they still got that in the back of their mind of last year when
Oh yeah, for sure.
it took y'all 7 seconds or
It was 13 seconds on the
13
clock.
seconds.
Got into field goal range. Bucker sent it to OT, and
Two
then
fucking plays.
they cried so much afterwards that the NFL changed the overtime rules.
Crazy.
But when
Off of that game.
off of that game, but when the Chiefs asked for it in 2018 versus Tom Brady, they said no, suck it up. Your defense got to be better. And we'll talk about the Tom Brady thing and how he gets a lot of special treatment because there's some that controversial call this weekend, but we'll get to that, man. But yeah, man, they definitely gonna be ready. And last year they came into Arrowhead and smacked us in the mouth again. That's why I wouldn't be surprised if they did it. But at the same time, they got us as underdogs this time. Last year we were favored, even though we were struggling heavily at that point. We were coming into the game 2-2, and they sent us to 2-3. For the underdog, I have to sprinkle on my Chiefs. Mahomes 7-0-1 against the spread as a dog. Until that fails, I'm gonna have to bet on that. So I don't know how much I'll throw on it just yet, but y'all can take that for now before we come out with the pick'em episode tomorrow. And I'm gonna drop my other one pick for the week. I don't know if I'll go too heavy this week because I gotta test some things out and I gotta get back positive. I'm literally breaking even as I was just talking about you before we started this episode. I finished 6-6 this weekend. That brings my total to 20-20-1. I had some bigger plays hit for me, but still, it's like, damn, like breaking even every week. Something gotta give, but
gotta start playing them player props, man. That's the move.
the player prop, even the player prop sold me this weekend. I really played myself because I should have tweeted out. I doubled down on Derrick Henry prop because to start off the week, it was 86.5 rushing yards. I bet it then. Then, for whatever reason, the line lowered to over 82.5. So I was like, I'll take that. Yeah. But I only tweeted out the 82.5 that Sunday morning. But both of them hit with ease. But then Lamar's was over 59.5. He finished with 58.
Oh.
Yeah. Like, what I'm going to do? And then the Bucks, I mean, I get it. They having line problems, but they don't even try to run the ball. Tom Brady about to throw his arm off. Like, I know he's 45. He got the TB12 method. But throwing the ball 50 times week in and week out at that age, that cannot be that healthy for him.
It can't be healthy, bro.
His arm gonna give out sometime, somewhere. Or he doing something that he shouldn't be doing because there's no way your arm in that great a condition at that age. But yeah, man, like I said earlier, my teaser completely went to shit once the Packers lost. But then to get my money back, I doubled up and I put the Bills, the Vikings, the Bucks, and the 49ers all in the MLP and max bet that 5 units. And that hit for me. So that helped me get back a little bit of what I lost from the Packers. But yeah, man, done with them. The Bills versus terrible teams, I'm gonna just have to throw them in a parlay with some other pick I like every week at this point until they don't blow them out. But next up, Chargers Browns, man. The Chargers got away with one. The Browns handed them the game. Brissett made another crucial mistake down the stretch of the game, where it's like if Cleveland wants any shot at the playoffs, they're gonna have to finish these games while Deshaun is still out, and that's banking on Deshaun coming back and not being completely rusty because he looked terrible in that preseason game.
He looked horrible. I love it.
But like I said earlier, Nick Chubb is doing his thing. They're feeding him. I should have bet his prop again. I bet it last week it hit. I should have just doubled up with him. Him and Henry right now, they're in their bag. They're getting fed the ball and they're producing. 17 carries, I think 100. What did he go for? 134 yards, 2 tutties. Like he was in his bag the whole game. Chargers, I don't know what it is about them and Brandon Staley. I don't know like who, the analytics is big now. I don't know who is in Brandon Staley's ear or if he's just making these stupid decisions himself. But Chargers are literally up 30-28. And they're trying to milk the clock out for the rest of the game. And it's 4th and 2. And they're on their side of the field at like the 45-ish. And last week they did it versus your Texans. It worked out. So I get it. They sealed the game by going for it on 4th and 2. They won. Whoop-de-whoop. But they were only up. They were up a field goal. So even if, the Texans drive down, they would have to score a touchdown to win that game. They kick a field goal, it's going to overtime. The Browns are only down 2. If they kick a field goal, they win the game. They go for it on 4th and 2 and throw a crazy pass that's incomplete. And the play was so crazy. Keenan Allen, who's still out with a hamstring, literally tweeted, "What the fuck are we doing?" Now, to come from your star wide receiver, and you've already had since last year, because Brandon said they threw a couple games with this analytics BS to the point they missed the playoffs. Something is wrong down there in LA. I told you, whatever it is, they're gonna try to give you the game at the very least. It's just if the team capitalizes or not that they're playing. The Browns are not capitalized. They get the ball back. They're literally in field goal range. All they have to do is just literally just take care of the ball. It's 3rd down and 8. Brissett rolls out right. He honestly could have ran for the first down himself. He decides to try to throw it through 3 defenders to a wide receiver who's covered by a 4th defender in the back of the end zone. It hits Tranquil, the linebacker for LA, right in his head. Like, it looked like he was just throwing it to him like it was a pitch and catch. Game over from there, and it's like Jacoby Brissett now for the 3rd time. All 3 losses are on him to where he's doing something stupid to end the game. And I know he's like a backup. He's a backup quarterback, and he's a game manager. But you can't be shooting the team in the foot like this when you know the Browns got to get as many wins as they can get to stay alive before they can get Deshaun back, which won't be till week 13. And the Chargers, on their case, Eckler's looking better now, but they really got lucky. They squeaked away one, because if they would have lost, all teams in the AFC West would have lost, and it would have given my Chiefs an even better stranglehold on the AFC West early in the season. But they were able to sneak one out, and they're up 3-2. And now with the way the division's looking, they're in pretty good standing. They got the Broncos next week. And the Broncos look so bad, I'll tell y'all right now. I'm going to throw one more in, the MLP. I'm going to just make it a 2-team MLP. Chargers are in there. That's one of my lock picks for the week. I'm going to throw 2.5 units on it. I'll let y'all know who the other team is right now, but I'm taking Chargers ML right now against that Broncos team. I think that should be an easy dub at home. And once they knock out Denver, that's going to put Denver and the Raiders right at the bottom of the division. And it's just going to be on my Chiefs to do what they need to do and stay alive to where even if the Chargers are able to get them when we go to LA later in the season, it won't matter. We'll still have the division in our control. Because the Chargers are going to give some games away. That's just is what it is. These last 2 weeks, they've been able to squeak away because they were playing a lot lesser talent. And no diss to your Texans, but Texans and then the Browns. But the Chargers are going to give away some games. And Brandon Staley's going to give away some games with his dumb coaching decisions. But that's what happened. I think you picked the Chargers. I don't know. I think you had them out of the playoffs at 3rd in your predictions. So
that can, I had them making it. I had
them making it still.
I had all 3 of them making it.
Yeah, so they stay alive another week. But are you worried about LA? Like, they've been hit by the injury bug a little bit. J.C. Jackson got torched by Amari Cooper on a couple routes throughout the game, which we said at the beginning, was it Bill Belichick or was it really J.C. Jackson? Right now, it's looking like another one of them cases where Bill Belichick just knows something we don't, and that's why he's letting these players go. Because now Jack Jones, who took his spot and a rookie, he's looking like everything J.C. Jackson was producing last season. So, how you feeling about the Chargers? Is it time to raise some eyebrows about what's going on down there in L.A., or you trust them to figure some stuff out?
Uh, I I trust them. They just got to get back healthy, man. It's time for Keaton Allen to suck it up and come back. They finally getting Austin Eckler more involved because he started off kind of slow during the beginning of the year, but I think they're gonna go on a little streak right here. They're gonna go. I feel like they're gonna they're already on a 2-0 streak right now. I think they can win these next 3 games, and then they're gonna have to go to the 49ers and play in San Fran, and then they got Charlotte the following week, and then the Cardinals, and that's when their schedule gets kind of beefy. But I think they'll be all right. I think they can still squeak in probably around like that seven seed, 6 seed. I can see them making it. As long as as long as Herbert, still get those. What is that rib injury, right?
Yeah, I mean, and that's just really a time thing. It's been what,
Yeah,
4 weeks now, going on 4 or 5
weeks.
weeks. So they're probably healed up a little bit. I'm sure they're probably still tender. Where if you get a good shot on him, it'll probably make him hurt to breathe
Yeah.
for a little bit. So that's definitely something to keep an eye out on. From what I've seen this week, and I don't think he took too many shots. He was protected pretty well. They put up 30 themselves. So the offense, while
Offense.
while the defense wasn't really doing what they're supposed to do, the offense, did what they needed to do. And yeah, Herbert and Mike Williams, since Keenan Allen's been out with that hamstring,
Like Williams been
Mike Williams
balling.
has been balling. And
They
my
need to
dumb
use
self,
him like that every time.
they do. My dumb self hasn't put him in the lineup not one time. And honestly, I sold myself this weekend because I could have put him and who else went off? Oh, I had him and Gabe Davis on my bench this weekend
I
on
had
my on
Gabe
my
in my
work fantasy league. I just forgot to sub them in, and they both put up. Mike Williams put up 27. I think Gabe Davis put up 32.
yeah.
So I lost by 15 points. That's the game right there. That was just on me. But yeah, man. Chargers, I still have faith they should be able to get together. But as far as like fixing the defaults like I had about them coming into the season, why I think like I can't trust them in the playoffs somewhere they've never been, they're not doing that right now to like make me
No.
trust in them and believe them. Like it's still some of the same stupid mistakes from last year. Like they're not learning. And funny enough, after yesterday, Mahomes in games where he's trailing by double digits at one point has a better overall record than Justin Herbert in his entire career. So just another one of them crazy stats where it's like pump the brakes on the Herbert talk where he's the best young QB. Like
Yeah.
they still got a lot to prove, but they got a lot of time to prove it. So just something to keep your eye out on. Next game, man, I'm not gonna lie. This one should have hit for you. Vikings -7. They're up 21-3. It's not a primetime game. Kirk Cousins is doing his thing, beating Justin Jefferson early and often, beating down on the terrible Chicago Bears. Then they let them get a touchdown late in the second half to cut it to 21-10. And then they just come out in the second half completely flat to the point where it's 22-21, and now they're in jeopardy of actually losing the game. And I'm like, bruh, no way they're about to sell and lose to the Chicago Bears, who have not looked good whatsoever this season, despite them now falling to 2-3. But they're really still a bottom of the barrel team in this
Yeah,
league.
easily. They probably gonna finish with 2 wins.
Yeah, and luckily when Minnesota did score, they go for 2 to be up by 7, so they were able to it was a pass since they literally covered the spread straight up -7. But this one should have definitely hit. Vikings should have kept their foot on the gas. They did not. They let up in the second half, came out completely lackadaisical. For whatever reason, they just completely stopped going Justin Jefferson way for that whole third and majority of the fourth quarter until the final drive to get the lead back. I don't know, like, what's wrong with them, because they didn't look good last week versus the Vikings. They didn't look good last week versus the Saints. The Vikings didn't, and besides the first half, they didn't look good this week versus the Bears, who are two bottom teams as of right now. They're still 4-1, so like I say, NFL, as long as you can get a win, fix your mistakes later. Like, you got to be satisfied with that, but they need to get together because they have an opportunity right now to really just put a hold on the NFC North with the way the Packers are looking. And like another team, I picked them to go 13-4 and get first place in the NFC. That's very much still obtainable because they kind of got a cupcake schedule and they can win a lot of games. They got the Dolphins this week. I would assume Tua is probably back, but Tyreek, he was in a boot after the game this week. They said that was just precautionary, but who knows if something's really up with him. But they got to go to Miami. That's still a winnable game with the talent they have. They need to win that game. They got the Cardinals next, who don't look good, the Commanders, and then they got to test. They got to go to Buffalo, which they'll probably lose that one. But other than that, they need to win these next two games and go to 6-1 and really solidify themselves as number one in the NFC, or at least number two, depending on what Philly does this weekend. But yeah, another team where it's like I projected them, to go to the playoffs and have a good regular season record. But like, as far as what I'm seeing out there on the field, would I trust them in a playoff situation? As of right now, nah. And a playoff gonna be a primetime game, which you already know Kirk Cousins is allergic to those. So, yeah, man. How you feel about them selling you on this one? Because you could have went 2-0-1 or 2-1 and been positive for the week, and then they sell to the Chicago Bears out of all teams.
It is what it is, man. That's the luck of the draws. It's just sometimes it's the NFL, man. So any given Sunday, uh, they definitely should have hit this. Defense was just ass that starting off that third quarter, and offense couldn't get nothing going. But I'm kind of glad that they finally got Dalvin Cook got him going. He got two little easy touchdowns. Then I would also like them to even though JJ, he be getting going, he get his yards and receptions, all that. But man, throw some touchdowns, man. We want to see that greedy
Yeah,
every
yeah.
now and then,
He
man.
actually did almost have one that got called back because he was short of the goal line by half a yard right before they ran it down. But he hit, what's that TikTok dance where they be like stomping their feet like that? He did that into gritty, and then they reviewed it like right there on the field, and like 20 seconds later, he was called down a yard short. So it was tough because that's when I had texted you. I was like, that was right after Gabe Davidson that caught his touchdown. I was like, Jefferson got one too. We on the road to start off this week. And then I was like, dang, never mind. They called that back. They punch it in with Dalvin. So that sucked. But yeah, man, definitely want to see some more touchdowns. And I don't care, man. He's wide receiver one. There can't be a half of football where he's only, or like the third quarter and majority of the fourth where he's only targeted once going into their final drive. Like, that's unacceptable.
Should never happen.
Every drive, he needs to be targeted at least 3 times just because of once he gets the ball in his hands, he's literally a threat to take it to the house every time. From any spot on the field. He's that type of weapon. Like, he's literally that dude.
Every team should find just like what the Rams do with Cup. Every team should find a way to give the best player their ball. They literally have the play designs for Cup to get the ball. Like it doesn't matter how you get it to him. Just give the ball, put the ball in his hands, and he gonna make something.
Let him work.
Let him work. Look at what Jalen Hurts be doing. Jalen Hurts, he's a great player, but what he's doing over there is pretty much just like that's why his percentage is kind of like high. All he doing is throwing to receiver screens to Devonte Smith. Like he just lets your players put the ball in their hands, man, and let them work out. These guys are playmakers. This is what they do, man. We love seeing playmakers work.
Yeah.
Just let them work out, man. That's all I'm saying.
And honestly, that was another one. Now that you mentioned Devonte Smith, I bet on him last week over 5.5 receptions or 4.5. He sold me.
Yeah, ain't nothing.
Then this week he comes back with 10. This week they got Cowboys. Diggs shut him down last year. So I might have to, like the way it's trending, Devonte will have a good game, and then the next game will be A.J. Brown that goes off.
I was going to say.
So I might have to bet A.J. Brown prop, thinking, I don't know, because I
I
don't
don't
know if Diggs
know.
is going to travel this weekend with whoever, but I know he'll probably want to go at Smith a lot because, they college teammates, obviously, with Jalen Hurts back at Bama. So that, that one's personal. But if they're not going to put him on A.J. Brown, I expect Jalen Hurts to throw the ball to A.J. Brown
AJ Brown.
heavy that game. So
Oh my God! I think they got that. What's his name? Anthony Brown on him.
Anthony Brown. Look, Chris, we can ask Chris about that. We go because that's Chris' least favorite quarter on his Cowboys.
Oh, he hate Anthony Brown.
He's
Hate Anthony
terrible.
Brown.
He's terrible. But I definitely have to keep a lookout depending on what his catch prop of yards is. I might sprinkle on one of those. But next up, man, this one's tough. The Lions. After, I mean, I don't know what it is in Detroit. I think they just cursed at this point. Like they literally just can't get right whatsoever. They have the worst defense in the NFL, and that showed again this weekend, but then it also looked like they had the worst offense in the NFL. I don't know what the official stat is, but coming into the week, they were the number one offense in the league. This week, they put up a goose egg, and we were giving Jared Goff his props last week, and, he'd been looking good all season. He looked terrible this week. Jamal Williams fumbled early on a 4th down that gave the Patriots the ball. And then, they didn't get torched by Bailey Zappi, but they got whooped by third-string QB. Like, it just is what it is. Bill Belichick put on a masterclass, best coach in NFL history, completely shut down everything the Lions were trying to do, and thought they were going to be competitive, which they could still be competitive, but yeah, this Lions team's not making the playoffs unless they have a dramatic 180. Like, there's a lot that has to change for them. Of course, they missing a few pieces and they got to get back healthy. But they had St. Brown back this weekend, even though I'm sure his ankle probably not back. Like, once you sprain your ankle, especially in this league or NBA, and you don't really have a chance to rest it, you're never really healthy, and you're not going to be healthy for the rest of the season. So hopefully he can get back better. But, he didn't look good this weekend. Looked like he probably still really dealing with that injury. Hawkinson, who had just went off last week, and he was nowhere to be found. Like, nobody showed up for the Lions on both sides of the ball this weekend, and the score shows that. And honestly, that's really all I have to say about it. The Lions gonna line. I don't know if you want to touch on them too much, but it just looked awful on their side this weekend.
Yeah, nah, they definitely just looked awful, like you said. St. Brown, he was, even though he played, like you said, he was pretty much a decoy. But I don't even want to talk about too much of them. I'm gonna talk about this Patriots team. They low key are kind of like a really really sneaky team. You gotta watch out for because they got a great running game. Even though Damien Pierce just got hurt this game, but Ramondre Stevenson, man, remember the name?
Beast.
He's
You
man.
would. I told you when they picked him up last year, I was like, that is a steal. The way they run the football,
Yes,
dude is a beast.
dead ass. Like he's one of the better underrated younger running backs in the game right now. He doesn't get much love from everybody because he's sitting behind Damien Harris, but he really should be RB1 over there.
Or
Because
50-50 split.
definitely because boy, he can ball out and like you said, they definitely got that still out of him. And like I said, he's definitely one of the better younger backs in the league. While Damien Harris is out, you remember the name, everybody. Like, y'all gonna see he gonna start going crazy these next few weeks.
25 carries, 161 yards. Like,
yes, he's crazy good, bro.
Crazy. And he's another back where it's like you need multiple defenders. You're not 9 times out of 10, you're not bringing him down on first contact unless you got someone there helping you to get him down. Like his legs keep moving and he can drive through a defender. And he's got low key underrated speed too. Like he's a bigger back, so you wouldn't think he's fast, but he got some wheels on him and he can get out. But yeah, man, that's enough of that game. Next game, Saints, they pulled one out, but it was tough. They needed this win. Like, if they lost this one, it was gonna be looking really bad. They would have been 1-4, and season basically would have been over with, I feel like. But Taysom Hill, MVP. I mean,
I hate him.
I still don't agree with the contract he got, but I mean, this one of them games where it's like he earned it, so to speak. But he doesn't do this every week, which is a problem. But yeah, man, Taysom Hill literally saved him because it was another Geno Smith masterclass. He's looking amazing for Seattle. Seattle's just not necessarily a good team all around.
Yeah.
But Geno Smith got that offense balling out. The defense just isn't that great. But Geno Smith is better than Russ.
Oh, for sure. This year, for sure, bro.
That throw he made on the run to DK on third down.
Only a few quarterbacks in the league are doing that.
Mahomes and Rodgers, that's about it.
Yes.
On a dime.
That was nuts. It was crazy, bro. It was crazy.
Yeah, man. Geno Smith continues to ball out. But like I said, the story of this game, Taysom Hill, 9 carries for 112 yards, 3 touchdowns. And then he also threw for a touchdown himself. Seattle had no answer for him whatsoever. And like I said, New Orleans needed this win. They're still alive now since the NFC South is so bad. But this week they got the Bengals at home. I don't know if Jameis or Michael Thomas, if they'll be back healthy. Chris Olave went out, I think, with a concussion. That didn't look good whatsoever. So I don't. With the new protocol, I don't even know if he'll be eligible to come back this upcoming week. So if he's out, Michael Thomas is out. Like, it's gonna be, they're gonna need another game like that from Taysom Hill. Versus Cincinnati, it low key can happen because, like I said, I'm not sold on Cincinnati. They don't look good. But Joe Burrow homecoming, and Jamar Chase homecoming in Louisiana this week.
Ooh.
I expect Lattimore to get after Chase. He hasn't been looking good, and T. Higgins didn't play this weekend with that ankle. It'll be interesting to see if he gives it a go this upcoming week. But it's another must-win game it's a must-win game for both of them. They're both 2-3 in a division where the team at the top is probably gonna win at least 11, 12 games in the Bucks and the Ravens. So they got to get wins because they've already lost to both those teams respectively. So they're already down in the division. They gotta find wins elsewhere to stay alive for the playoff hopes. And that's gonna be one to look at. I'm gonna stay away from that one. But they got Cincy as -1.5 favorites. So we'll see. We'll see. Next up, the Jets and the Dolphins. And this is where, how you say, the Patriots are sneaky. And like, I thought Bill Belichick maybe falls off, but granted, Tua has been out these last 2 weeks, and then this weekend they lost Teddy Bridgewater, even though they were still losing with Teddy in the game. The division, the AFC North or AFC East, it's the Buffalo Bills, and then that second spot is now wide open.
Yeah,
the Dolphins had taken control by beating the Bills and going 3-0, and then they dropped it these last 2 weeks. So they got to get back healthy, got to get back right. But they got whooped. Like, it was a close game up until the third quarter, but then New York blew the absolute doors open, and Zach Wilson went off. I still don't even think he's that great, but New York, another one of them teams where it's like they're not necessarily good, but they're competitive. And you're going to have to go earn that win when you play them. It's not just a gimme win. And Miami probably went in there thinking that a little bit, and they got their teeth beat in, man. Are you scared for Miami now? Like, because I wasn't necessarily sold on them when they started 3-0. They were getting away with some lucky wins, I feel like. And then I think they would have won the Cincy game had 2 and not gone out, but they don't win that one, and then they give it this one. And now you're 3-2, and you're in jeopardy of losing the second seed in the division. So are you worried about Miami?
Definitely worried about Miami, man. They got Tua needs to come back. It's just he needs to come back. They got some couple more injuries that's on the table for them. They got I think Armstead's still kind of banged up. You know, like you said earlier, Reek banged up with that he got a boot on him. And also looks like Xavier Howard, he's also banged up too. So
he put his hamstring, I think I heard.
Yeah. So they the injury bug biting them too right now. So Tua needs to come back. They need to find ways to still stay at that second spot. But man, how about them Jets, man? How about
Hey,
them Jets?
Robert Saleh got them boys playing some good football.
And nah, man,
Brees Hall, he's looking good.
we're looking like a beast.
Sauce Gardner got his first INT.
Oh,
He been locking.
it's an
It's been
island over
kind
there.
of silent, but like it's an island.
It's an island.
He's literally got all the whole build you would want in a star corner. He's up next for sure. Him and Stingley, they both had some really good weekends this weekend, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to see them just grow in the future and become those name brand lockdown corners, like how we think of a Jalen Ramsey and what we once thought of Stephon Gilmore, who he really sealed. I forgot to mention, he really sealed the game in that Denver game Thursday after Sutton tried to call him a little baby.
Yeah.
And then from then on out, he shut them down that drive, and then he sealed the game with the interception. So, yeah, man. The Jets, like I said, they look good. It's gonna be a dogfight every time you play them. That's not an easy win anymore. But next up, man, the team who sold me, the Bucks. -7.5 favorites. I had them in a parlay with the Chiefs ML. They're up 21-0 going into the fourth. All they have to do is get a couple more stops. Just put a field goal up at the very least. Just put the game completely away. No. Like I said, I don't know what it is. Like, I get it. They're trying to. The offensive line isn't necessarily looking good, but they're not even trying to run the football whatsoever. It's literally Tom Brady drop back every play, and it's so predictable to the point Atlanta finally just started stopping it. And then once they get 15 and now Tampa Bay has the ball to try to put the game away, people are talking about the bogus roughing the passer penalty. 2 plays before that, it's 3rd and 5. AJ Terrell is on, I think it was Chris Godwin or Mike Evans. Within 5 yards, you can jam the receiver, touch them however you want. That's what he did. Lets him go. Brady throws a ball at the dirt, and it's incomplete. And then in Brady fashion, 3 seconds later, out of nowhere, here comes the missed 3 flag. Defensive holding, automatic first down. Keeps the drive alive. Next play, he goes deep to Scotty Miller, and yeah, they miss a defensive pass interference. But like I said, if they don't call the bogus holding penalty in the first place, Tampa Bay's punting the ball back to Atlanta and giving them a chance to win the game. So then next play, Scotty Miller play happens. Then after that, 3rd down again, Brady sacked. And at this point, man, what the hell do y'all want these defenders to do? Like, I get it. Protect the quarterbacks, and people are scared with the whole Tua situation, but it's football. The game is literally violent. Like, it's inherently violent. You can't get away from that. Dude slung Brady to the ground. And then Brady got up and kicked him low-key and started crying to the ref immediately, and they give him the flag. And it's like, you cannot call that, especially at that point in the game. And people are trying to say, like I've been on Twitter threads all week, listening to like arena, people give their points, and people are like, oh, Tom Brady's got less roughing the passer penalties than this quarterback, that quarterback. Like, he doesn't get them. Yeah, because he gets the ball out so quick, so it's rare that he gets touched.
Yeah.
But when he gets touched, I would love to know the stat for the percentage that he does get touched and the amount of roughing the passer penalties that have been called. Because it's a lot of ones where it's like, let me scratch my head on that one because that's not a roughing the passer penalty. But because it's Tom Brady, golden boy, let's protect him and let's help him get this win. His whole career, I don't care what anybody says. Yeah, he's the GOAT. He's won 7 Super Bowls. But his whole career, you can go back and look at key moments in the game where he just gets calls that shouldn't be called, or it's like, oh, Tom Brady is the only person you know that gets that treatment from the refs. And it was right here in 4K this weekend. I don't know what these are. 300-pound defensive linemen who are also getting blocked by 300-pound offensive linemen while they're in the process of trying to sack a quarterback. I don't know what you want them to do at this point. You might as well just put flags on the QBs and have them pull their flag and call the ball dead. Because it's two-hand touch at this point if you can't touch him and tackle him. So, yeah, man, Brady got away with one. How you feel about this
one. Nah, man, you said it, man. Like you said, it's a violent sport. It's what else you want these guys to do, man? Like it was a normal tackle, and they I don't know, they called that, and it just makes you wonder, Pat got tackled the same way in that it was that Monday night game, and no flag, no flag. So it's just
Yeah, the exact same way.
exact same way, literally the exact same way, and it's like, come on. And then at that, Brady kicked the guy, and then after the game, they asked Brady about it, and he was like, "I'm not the one calling the flag. I'm not the one throwing the flag." She's like, "Shut the fuck up, bro." Oh, I just, he just really irks my,
He
he irks my so much, man. So, you know, just glad, his whole life isn't perfect because, he's going through that divorce. So
yes.
thank
He
God.
he out here fighting for his life, looking terrible, all all in spite of being a family man. Like, dude should have just stayed retired at this point. But yeah, man, the Bucks got away with one. If they was gonna get away with one, I wish they would have at least kicked a field goal at the end. But they ended up getting one more first down, which allowed them to just run out the clock from there on out and completely blow my -7.5 cover, which was easily covered going into the fourth up 21-0. But no, they let Mariota cook them. They can't run the football, and Brady gets bailed out as usual. And people would just turn a blind eye, like, oh, that Skip Bayless. Like, of course, he's always gonna be on his hands and knees for Tom Brady. But he talking about that's a Tua call. Like that's what y'all wanted to call. This is what y'all complaining about. That this is perfect for them. Like don't complain. Like, come on, man. Like, that is not a penalty.
Yeah.
The defense, literally, he just thrown off the lineman, gets to Brady. He doesn't, it's not like he can't even bear hug him. He has to reach out because he's that far away. Where the only way he can get Brady down is literally to sling him back the other way. And then by the momentum of his body, like, these dudes can't stop gravity.
They can't,
So
bro.
that's why he ended up rolling with him. Like, Brady can suck it up. And Brady really a wuss too for even looking at the ref like, come on, give me the call. Like, come
Yeah.
on now. Like, that's just so weak on his part. Especially for him. Like, 7-time Super Bowl champ, and that's the call you're looking for to bail you out when you know you completely sold the game. Like,
Like
that's
how you want these guys to tackle you? Like you can't go low on you.
like,
You can't go high on you. So like how
like
you
you
supposed to tackle them? I don't
right,
get
like you want him to get back into the backfield and be like, oh, Brady, can we touch you? Like,
it.
can we please tackle you? Like, you want, like, at this point, it just seemed like the refs just want them to literally pick up the quarterback and just lay them down like a kid.
Man
Like, okay,
down.
you're
Yeah.
down. Like, come on now, it's fucking football at the end of the day. Get real. But
Yeah.
the Bucks completely sold. But this week they got who they got? They got the Panthers, who are now Baker Mayfield's out for the next couple weeks, and they just fired Matt Rule, so PJ Walker will be the starter because Sam Darnold's of course hurt still. Bucks Chargers. From what I said earlier when I was saying Chargers and someone else, this is it. Bucks Chargers MLP. It's -133 odds, 2.5 units on it, man. To win 2 units. They both have, like, obviously it's any given Sunday, so both these teams definitely could find a way to sell us. But that's why I'm staying away from the spreads whatsoever. I'm just banking on, or I'm sorry, it's not even them. They play the Steelers this week, who are in the same boat as the Panthers.
Oh,
My bad.
they
But
should
next
beat
week I'll be
them.
throwing the Bucks in the MLP again with the Panthers. But
Mhm.
Bucks Steelers, they should win that game. Chargers Broncos, Chargers should win that game. I gotta throw them together. Like, I gotta go with that, and that probably sprinkle my Chiefs +3. Probably find one other pick, maybe a prop like we were talking about, and I'll probably call it a week on the picks just to see if I can, go positive and be up, try to build a cushion instead of breaking even every week with the abundance of picks. But yeah, man, they're -8-point favorites. They should cover the way the Steelers are looking. But then again, Steelers just got blown out, and they've been getting whooped these past few weeks. I can see them possibly finding a way to cover just because of Mike Tomlin. Like, they're going to have to, like, this is very unheard of for a Mike Tomlin team. But like we said, this is probably the year he doesn't make the playoffs. And with the TJ Watt injury, it definitely just made that much harder. So, yeah. That's enough on that game. Next up, we don't have to touch too much on this game. Titans Commanders. Not too much news from this game besides Derrick Henry is still a beast.
Mm-hmm.
And Brian Robinson came back.
Shout out to him, man.
Shout out to him. His first carry, it got called back for a holding call, but he ran 8 yards. I mean, just as a fan, just happy to see him back out on the field. They ran him out to mini men by 50 Cent. I don't know how many of you listeners are familiar with 50 Cent, but I would suspect most of the audience that I know listeners knows what that song is. So, yeah, man, kind of the perfect intro song for him to come out to for the player introductions. But yeah, man, just good to see him out on that field again. The only other thing that's really news from this game this morning, or it was either this morning or yesterday, Ron Rivera in the interview was like, "What's the difference between your team and the rest of the teams in the NFC East?" And he said the quarterback.
Bro, you know, I think because he had cancer and he defeated cancer or whatever. I think it's because I think he's probably like, just fuck it. I'm gonna just tell the truth about everything. All right, y'all want the answer? This why you asked me the answer. Yeah, it's the fucking quarterback. Yeah, he said you look around the league. He said you look around the league and you see the quarterback is a quarterback driven league. It's our quarterback.
But it's crazy because like he's not wrong in the overall sense of the league. But they were asking him specifically about the division. He was basically saying, yeah, Carson Wentz is so trash that he's worse than Daniel Jones and Cooper Rush. I'll give you Jalen Hurts because Jalen Hurts been balling out this season so far. But he's saying he's more trash than Daniel Jones and Cooper Rush, who, yes, Cooper Rush is winning games. But literally, I've seen some stats earlier. He's averaging like 190 passing yards per game. The Cowboys are 27th in yards per game and like 26 in points since he's taken the reins. They're literally winning because of that defense. This is not Cooper Rush. Yeah. I'll give it to him. He's protecting the ball. He's not turning over. So I'll give him props there. But other than that, that's a major insult to the point where Alex Smith, former Washington Commander quarterback before he finally retired, he said on the Monday night broadcast, before the Monday night broadcast earlier yesterday, he was like, yeah, like that actually made me mad. Like Ron Rivera was completely wrong to throw his quarterback under the bus like that. Like, Washington not a good football team all the way around. Like, they're missing a lot of pieces that they need to even be, in contention for the division, let alone contention. But like you said, it probably is the cancer thing where Ron Rivera just kind of like, F it. I'm going to just tell y'all what's on my mind. Like, first thing that comes to my mind, that's the most honest answer I have. I'm going to give it to you straight up like that.
Thanks. Like, bro almost died, bro. Like, dead ass. Like, shit, speak the truth.
Speak the truth, man. Next up, we got the Texans and Jaguars. I'll just say one thing, and I'll let you touch on the game since these your boys. But I first said the Jaguars wouldn't be anything because I wasn't a believer yet in Trevor Lawrence. Then the first couple weeks, he kind of proved me wrong, and I was like, okay, I'll give him some props. And then these last 2 weeks, it's what I said. I mean, I get it. He was a prodigy coming out of high school, a prodigy in college. But as far as the NFL goes, he makes too many crucial turnovers when he should not be making them. Yeah. And it's now losing Jacksonville games to the point where Tennessee's back in the front runner spot for the winner of the AFC South. This week, they get the Colts again in Indy this time. It'll be interesting to see if they can whoop up on again since it's such a short turnaround of playing them. But yeah, Trevor Lawrence selling games. That's 2 weeks in a row now. Games you got to have, and he's completely giving them away. This one, driving late in a stalemate game where 6-6. All you have to is second down. You don't have to force a pass. You can live to fight another down. And at the very least, you get to kick a field goal and go up. No, he tries to force a pass in there. Stingly intercepts it, gets his first interception. And Christian Kirk, nowhere to be found the past 2 weeks. Wide receiver 1. So right when I try to give both of them their props, they go right back to what I initially thought, man. But how this one play out for your boys? They finally got their first dub, man. Have it up for your Texans, man.
Finally, man, finally, and shit, it was a big one. It was a big divisional game. Finally got us a dub. Finally got that goose egg off for the back of us. Surprisingly or not, man, we one game back from second place at least. One game back, so shit. Hey, it's
Right
our year,
there.
man, right
Right
there, right there, man. But no, man, it's the same thing, man. Davis Mills playing like a game manager. He played all right. Actually made a couple of good passes. But it's a lot of field goals this game. Like you said, man, Trevor Lawrence. It's just he was playing so well like those first few games, and then it just went downhill all of a sudden. It's just he just been having that turnover problem ever since last year as a rookie, and it just turned to I don't know, just turned into a turnover problem. But just want to give a shout out to the Cleveland Browns, man. Thank you for giving us that fourth pick that turned into Damien Pierce, aka a dog. That man's a dog, man. When I text you about that crazy run he had right there in the red zone, whatever, it was just so beautiful. Like it was like a Marshawn Lynch s type of run. It was just, man, I just love the way he runs, bro. Like he just a hard runner, man, angry runner. He gonna try to run you over, or he gonna juke you too. So he just a very shifty back. Love me some Damien Pierce though, man. Just glad we finally got him. Get him some carries. Just finally, he should be our RB1, and now finally showing that he can be RB1. Had 26 carries this game. Had a lot of carries last game too, also. So just a lot of a lot of good things for us. Jalen Petrie still balling out. What's it called? Stingley still balling out. We getting some more guys coming back from the IR, and man, it's just it's just good. Finally getting that win, getting that goose egg off our back. Nico Collins looking good. Still got to get Brandon Cooks a ball, man. He been kind of quiet, Mr. 1K. He been kind of quiet, so I would like to see Davis kind of force feed him a little. But other than that, man, yeah, we on to a bye week, and after that we got the Raiders. So, kill their season easily. So definitely like to see that. But yeah,
Yeah, man. And next up, so we don't even have to touch on this one. Like I said, 49ers, Panthers. That was an easy dub. Baker Mayfield out. Panthers in shambles. Everybody's on the block apparently for trading. I'm hoping somehow, some way, my Chiefs can get Brian Burns. I don't know. I don't know if it'll be possible, but if we could get him to add to our defensive line, because we actually had Deshaun Wharton tore his ACL in the first quarter, unfortunately, yesterday. But we can find a way to, if Beast can find a way to get down, we need that. Christian McCaffrey is. The Bills are trying to get him.
oh
DJ
my
Moore,
god!
like,
Imagine CSC on the Bills.
yeah, man.
That might do it. That might do it. I don't
I
know.
mean, at the same time, though, he's an expensive back. So if they don't win this year and
Oh,
they get
definitely
injured, the
expensive.
Bills are in cap hell next year with Diggs,
Mm-hmm.
Allen, and Von Miller's contract. So they get him, they literally have to win the Super Bowl this year, or they'll be the Rams, but a failure version of going all in and then not getting the reward. But next up, man, them Cowboys. The pick that just hit plus 5.5. I had the under 43. Both of them hit. I was
Thank
scared
God.
the under wasn't going to hit because the Rams were playing so bad to start off the game that they were giving the Cowboys free points. But like I said, man, that Cowboys defense is legendary. Michael
Oh,
Parsons, defensive player of the year, straight up. But Cooper Rush is not. He's just doing what he needs to do for them to win
yeah.
the game. But other than the Cowboys defense literally getting that strip sack to start off the game, a touchdown, blocking the punt to literally put them in field goal range. Pollard ran like a 50-yard touchdown. Other than that, Cooper Rush only got them in the field goal range. That was it. He just did the bare minimum, but that defense completely shut down the Rams all game, except for that one play where Cooper Kupp caught the crossing route short and then took it the distance and turned on the burners on Trayvon Diggs. But other than that, man, this Cowboy defense is scary. This Eagles and Cowboys matchup next week, this gonna tell a lot. And I honestly, that they said Dak Prescott is still nowhere near being ready to play. Don't throw him in there.
Don't throw him in there at all. Not
Let
now.
This defense is so good right now. I think the Cowboys might still be able to pull it off next weekend because they've had Philly number now for the past year and a half or so.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Parsons, like the Eagles, like I said, the Eagles, they have problems in the second half, which we can touch on them next because that's the next game, them versus the Cardinals. They're not scoring in the second half. That defense, if they can get some turnovers and offense can turn into points, if not the defense just getting points, look out, man. But it's scary. But you called it, man. Cowboys plus 5.5 could have took the ML. Des Bryant been betting on them every week and been winning hella bread. Smoking on whoever pack. Yeah, he put 20K on them this week. Rams pack in rotation, he said. So, yeah, man. You called it. Cowboys defense.
That shit is Super Bowl ready, bro.
Super Bowl ready. If they could get Dak and keep the same game plan, they might actually make some noise in the playoffs.
They'll be unstoppable, bro. They'll literally be unstoppable.
Unstoppable. But it'll be that much funnier if they don't.
Yeah.
Now it's to the point like we went into the season after that first game. Oh, Cowboys fans like we're not even gonna get our hopes up. Now they got their hopes up. And you know, once they get their hopes up, it usually come crashing back down. But we gonna see, man. Eagles, Cardinals, 2017. Kyler Murray, Cliff Kingsbury. There's nothing much more to be said. They don't work. I still a believer in Kyler, but even he's making some questionable decisions. And the Eagles, they played good, but they didn't do anything in the second half again, which allowed the Cardinals to have a chance to get back in the game. And then I didn't even know they had signed Amendola, who we cut a couple weeks ago. Missed the game time field goal. So it is what it is. Cardinals, I mean, the Rams don't look good either. So second place in that division is definitely still up for grabs very easily. The 49ers is looking like, even though we thought it was going to be their division with Trey Lance, and then he goes out, it's still probably their division, the way them teams are looking right now. None of them look good. The AFC West and NFC West thought were going to be two of the best division football, looking like two of the worst right now.
Yeah.
Bengals, Ravens, 17-19. I literally texted you on this one. We even bought half a point for the max lock. Ravens -2.5. I literally texted Cam when it was 16-10. I was like, they just kicked the field goal instead of going for it. Bengals are finna go down here, get a touchdown, and the Ravens are gonna win on a walk-off, and it's gonna just magically not beat the spread. You know how Vegas just somehow, some way they gotta get you, and they got us on that one.
Justin Tucker, a system kicker.
System kicker. But because we're already running long on time and I want to get the people in here, I won't even touch too much on my Chiefs just yet. I'll save my rant for tomorrow's episode. But yeah, man. Pat Mahomes, Travis Kelce. What can I say?
What can you say, man? God.
Like I said, this weekend, if we win and Mahomes has another great game, unless people are just really hating, what can you say about him not being MVP? He's leading the league in touchdown passes, top 2 in QBR, best in passer rate. Like, he's doing the damn thing with a receiver group where y'all were like, oh, he's going to be terrible without Tyreek Hill. 4-1, Raiders find a way to lose again. Devontae Adams pissed, pushes the cameraman. He might get suspended. Who knows? If he does, I honestly can see y'all putting up a fight and maybe beating the Raiders again and completely ending their season. Because there's still hope because they have a cupcake schedule for the next 6 games. But as of right now, they're in hell. So that they got to get it together. But without further ado, we bringing in all the boys. Finna talk Cowboys, Eagles. Get their thoughts on the season, man, to finish this episode. It's about to get real spicy and interesting. But here they all come. I'm finna add them all in right now. Got Cam, got Chris, other Cam Davis, Mitt, everybody in here. Dang, this is the first time I done had 5 people on a Zoom at one time. Oh yeah. Oh man, this man got the background.
You already know, man.
Nah, Chris.
I ain't come to play, man. I ain't come to play.
Chris funny.
Noise, so I hope y'all ready. So
Look, I'm not gonna be surprised if Cam Davis not in some Cowboys gear to start up. Okay, no, he just in the black tee.
Boy, that's just surprised the hell out of me.
Oh man.
I ain't come to play, man.
Welcome back to the podcast, man. Welcome back to the podcast. If y'all remember the first episode, we brought our boy Chris on for the NBA. We said it's a potential we would bring him on for some football, depending on how his Cowboy season was looking. They're looking great right now, so as you can see, as he's grinning from ear to ear, he was ready to come on, talk some smack. I'm sorry, Cam, you kind of outnumbered on this one. But
I can hold my own, bro.
It's Philly versus Dallas this week for the division, for first place in the NFC. It's gonna be a good game.
Chris.
Before
Already.
Yes, sir. How about him, Chris?
How about him? They're gonna kick me out the hotel, bro.
I was dead. Before we touch on that game, I want to get each of y'all opinion on y'all's team and how y'all what y'all compared to y'all's expectations coming into the season and how y'all feeling right now. Cam Davis, I apologize, man. You know, that defense is legendary. Michael Parsons is that dude. And honestly, Dak Prescott getting hurt might have been the best thing ever because it forced Kellen Mond to finally call the game how he should be for that offense to support really the defense supporting them the way they're playing right now. But yeah, man, I'll pass it to you first, Cam Davis. Touch on your boys, man. Coming into the season, how you feeling right now?
Hey, man, to be honest with you, after week 1, I chunked up the deuces, bro. I ain't even gonna lie to you, bro. I chunked up the deuces. I said, yeah, I ain't finna even go down this road with these boys again. You know what I'm saying? I was saving myself. But of course, you know, being a Cowboys fan, they always bring me back. Like I can never just like leave them, man. I got too much love for them. And like Michael Irvin said, that defensive line and that defensive looking good. You know what I'm saying? So, and Dak Prescott, him going down, you right, it's made us what we wanted to do. Jerry said we need to start running the football more. He said that in the offseason. And we got 2 good running backs. Give them both 15 carries each. That's 30 right there. You throw the ball 30 times, that's a good balance right there. So, I mean, hey, it's working out for us right now. We playing through our defense, right? Our offense was the number 1 offense last year. Things changed. People changed too. So now we're a defensive team. Hey, and I like it. I like the defense. You know, our secondary don't have to cover long, right? You got Michael Parsons. You got Dorrance Armstrong. You got DeMarcus Lawrence. You got our defensive tackles. All these guys we drafted too. Like our defense is nice. So
It is.
as long as they can stay healthy, I don't know. I'm not putting no expectations. Cam know me. No expectations with it. But hey, I'm rolling with them, man. So how about them?
How about them? All right, look. I'm gonna save you for last, Cam Swann. Chris, man, go ahead and get your spill on your boys, man. I know you've been itching for this one for a couple weeks now. How you feeling about your boys?
I ain't got nothing to say, man. Y'all know when the season started, I had 0 expectations, bro. I was literally like, I don't care what happens this season, bro. I was just watching the game.
Man, Chris.
I'm just watching the game, and they surprised me, bro. Like you say all the time, Bryce. Like it came down to the play calling. We only winning because of the play calling at the end of the day, honestly. And Coop not even producing like he should be if he was that guy. You feel me? So
Right.
like, yeah, it's that defense that's winning us the games. That's why I'm interested in this game coming up, bro. Because you got arguably we probably the best defense in the league. I'm not gonna count.
No, y'all the best defense.
And then we coming to this playing a mobile QB. Feel me? Michael Parsons finna get him a couple of behind the line sacks. What you think about that, Cam?
Yes, sir.
And you know, man, we just gotta like Jerry Jones say, man, just gotta.
Oh God,
this my blanket. This the blanket, man. This right here, our blanket, man. You feel me? This gonna keep us warm and good at night. We gonna be all right.
man. All right. With that being said, you already know. Swing it to you, Swan. Yo, Eagles, man. Only undefeated team left in the league.
Slide.
You gotta get a
Gonna
stretch out for
slide.
this.
All right.
Yeah, because
About
you're
them
gonna reach. That's why.
Them dirty birds.
Nah, that's the Falcons. Look, we ain't the
Oh,
Falcons.
you're right. Y'all funky then.
Hey, I'll take it. Nah, starting out the season, the first game had me nervous. I'm not even gonna lie,
Detroit?
because Detroit, they before the last game, they were number one rated offense. I'm not even gonna lie. As much as everybody laughing, that's number one rated offense.
They
No,
not
yeah,
coming
they
back
do.
in
They
that
do
game.
have a high quality
That's for
offense. They
sure.
do.
That's
They
what I'm
score a lot of
saying.
points.
Like that offense is really scary when they fully healthy. That's a scary offense. Like we got him, you got Goff, Swift, St. Brown. That's a scary offense. Reynolds, like so I was pretty scared. I'm not gonna lie, but seeing like how everything like just gel in because you bringing in so many different players and egos and everything to one team in the offseason, that's gonna be like you're gonna be kind of nervous at first. That's how the Rams are. Look how they unfolding, you know. Then you got Matt Stafford's QB, so of course. But with that being said, the expectation I had was very high, as y'all saw when I said last time. Like I said, Jordan Davis, look what he doing. All the pressure he doing. We're literally top 5 in offense and defense. And we got literally the best O-line in the league. Plus, if we really want to pass, we can pass. But who's going to stop that running game? Y'all talking about y'all going to beat us and everything coming up. But y'all literally the bottom portion against the run.
Cam.
No. Let me finish.
This gonna be them
Let me finish. Y'all keep saying y'all gonna stop the run. I'll give y'all the pass. I'll give y'all that. Y'all got arguably one of the best DBs in the league. I'll give y'all that. All credits due. But y'all cannot stop the run. Y'all cannot stop the run at all. So
That's interesting because I wasn't even concerned about the run. Honestly,
that's what I'm saying.
Miles Sanders.
It ain't got to just be Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders literally having the best year in his career.
Jalen Hurts probably had more rushing yards than y'all running back.
But I'm saying no. He's literally top 5 in yards right now. Miles Sanders literally having
I
the best
honestly think y'all should feed him more than y'all do.
No, I agree. I feel like we should, and I feel like we actually are going to. Actually, I think we're gonna give Gainwell the ball less and give it to him more. That's why I see because everybody's complaining last game talking about why we're not feeding AJ more. I'm like, if the run is going good, keep the run going. It's gonna be. And then I feel like our offense is really like just out there because one game Smith can just go crazy. Next game AJ can go crazy. Next game Goddard can go crazy. Like it's so many different people. Then on top of that, the run you can have Sanders having a big game. He had like 134 yards rushing. You can have Jalen Hurts just having like 2 or 3 rushing TDs. It's for anybody. Anybody can have a big week. And then on top of the defense, like Darius Slay and James Bradbury are literally one of the best DBs in the league. Looking at grade average. Like I'm just sorry. Like man, I'm just saying. And then we got literally one of the best linebacker cores. And then we still ain't playing the Kobe Dean. We still ain't played him. Like, come on, man. We still got TJ Edwards balling now. TJ Edwards balling? Come on, fam. I'm sorry. I'm not hearing that.
Okay.
I'm not hearing it.
Okay, so this one for you two Cowboys fans, man. So obviously the talk of the town is Cooper Rush. And I'll give him his props. He has not turned over the ball whatsoever, and that's the major key, I feel like, on why y'all been able to stay winning football games, because he's not necessarily producing some. But Jerry Jones sparked it for whatever reason, saying, like, he didn't mean it at the end of the day, and now he's double back to say, Dak is still the QB1. But Jerry loves some controversy for media headlines, so he just had to say, yeah, the way Cooper Rush playing, it might be a quarterback controversy. So now media has gone and ran with it, saying Cooper Rush deserves to be QB1 over Dak Prescott. And me and Cam have had this argument like the last 3 episodes. And he pro Cooper Rush.
Oh,
I'm pro, like,
Oh my God.
for y'all know I don't even like Dak like that, but in this one I'm pro Dak.
God.
Literally what I've been saying, or what I told y'all that episode y'all first came on, I was like, if y'all just run the football and then have Dak work out the play action and don't force him to win the game with his arm, y'all be a solid team. I didn't know the defense was going to be this great. So them being this great just makes that more of a plus. But the first game versus Tampa Bay, Zeke has 9 carries for 50 yards. That's 4.5 or 5.5 yards per carry. For whatever reason, they just stopped handing the ball up and told Dak, like, oh, this is the first game he got to try to work with CD as a wide receiver 1. Like, oh, go win this game versus the Tampa Bay defense. That wasn't going to happen. If y'all run the ball, I feel like y'all might have won that game because Tampa Bay's offense has been struggling. Then he unfortunately gets hurt at the end. Cooper Rush comes in. So obviously, since Cooper Rush is a 6-year NFL veteran who's never played a game besides last year when Dak went out, of course, Kellen Mond changes up the play calling, but goes to what y'all should have been doing the whole time, and he's literally running the ball more than he's throwing it, to the point where y'all are 27th right now in yards per game on offense and 26th in points since Cooper Rush is taking the starting role. He's literally just doing the bare minimum, and the defense is carrying y'all. And Pollard and Zeke, when y'all feed them, they're eating. So when Dak comes back, Cam is saying like, oh, well, he's a $40 million quarterback. They're not going to call the game the same. If it's producing wins, why not call the game the same? Because y'all going to be Super Bowl contenders for real if y'all can get a healthy Dak back with this defense. So I want y'all thoughts on that one. Y'all Cooper Rush or Team Dak?
Hell no, we ain't Cooper Rush. Like, come on now. I mean, all right. I ain't mean that disrespectfully. Like, bro getting us wins. Like, appreciate you. Appreciate everything you're doing. You taking care of the football. You're doing what you need to do. You're doing your job right now. We don't need you going out throwing for 300 yards. You know what I'm saying? But, I mean, Dak, he can take care of the football too. Dak is good at taking care of the football. I think with just running the football and having the play action, Dak coming off of play action instead of dropping back on first down, we getting holding penalties. We behind the chains now. Dropping back on first down, we getting offensive pass interference, whatever the case may be, false starts. So as we get all the time with Dak Prescott, like we did in the first game, I mean, this team has to help Dak Prescott, and the coaches have to help Dak Prescott as well. So, I mean, we team Dak. Come on, man. Come on now.
Chris looked to the side when I
Nah,
asked
look, bro. I'm team Coop right now. I ain't gonna lie, but I'm team Coop until Dak can show me otherwise. That's really all it is. It's not more so like I'm saying Coop is better. Like, bro, literally threw 106 yards, bro. Like that's not gonna win. That's not gonna win a Super Bowl. You feel me? They were talking about he had 10 completions and they had some drops, but at the end of the day, they not calling for you to pass the ball anyways, which they shouldn't be. They shouldn't be calling for nobody to pass the ball. We have like a really great running back duo. We should be utilizing them way more. So I do see that if Dak were to come back and they continue play calling that the way they are, then Dak can change his perception that the media has of him on being this QB that can't produce for real. Because y'all putting him in predicaments that he not finna perform in, bro. He not like that for real. Like he like that, but he not like that.
Yeah. And I get y'all paid him, but like that's just like it's always next man up in this league. Like quarterback contracts have just gone up and up. So when Dak was due, he was gonna get a lot of money, but that don't mean he gotta go win them games. So
right. Another thing is with like the defense, they're gonna start loading the box against Cooper Rush, right? So then what happens to your run game with that? You force Cooper Rush to throw the football. So the same thing, like if you do that with Dak, we know Dak can throw the football, right? So come on now, let's not disrespect Dak too much in this situation.
Dak been getting a lot of disrespect, and I'm like, I don't even like Dak, but like, come on now, like. This is crazy.
See, I feel like that's not even disrespect. It's just like it's like he's getting paid 40. I don't think you understand this.
That's not Cam.
I get it.
No.
The cap rises.
Okay, but still, you don't pay someone that much money for him to throw like 20 times a game. That just don't happen. You can't
25. 25,
30. You can't name one quarterback that's getting paid that much money to throw 25 times a game.
Right. Bro, is that Dak fault though? He getting paid that much though?
Right? Do they have the running game like the Cowboys? And do they have the defense like the Cowboys?
It don't matter.
I feel like 25.
It's your system, Cam.
I feel like 25 is a happy medium. Like if Dak can throw the ball, like if Dak can go like 18 for 25.
Yeah, 17, like 20. I was thinking the same thing.
250 yards, maybe a touchdown or two. That's all they need right now. Cooper Rush isn't even doing that.
So, I'm gonna go back to
play
this
action. The play action.
It's gonna be there, and he can run.
Okay, so I'm gonna go back to this thing. Is he a top 10 quarterback? I'm always bring that up.
We saw.
No. Say yes.
He not a top 10 quarterback right now, bro. He's not a top 10 quarterback right
No,
now.
he played in one game. I
Y'all
can't put him in the
was
top 10.
Remember, I said he was a top 10 before the season started, so that's
I did
different.
too.
You feel me? Okay, then.
He's not right now.
So he
That's
don't
not a
deserve that
crazy
money.
statement.
He don't deserve that money then.
Damn, he played one game.
Okay, but still, he don't deserve that money.
Okay,
then.
so Kyler didn't deserve his check, right?
Or Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson ain't deserve his because you said Russell Wilson was in top 10. He got 286.
He playing worse than Geno.
With Russ, he's in a bad.
Nah, you can't.
No, with Russ, no deadass, and with Russ, he's in a bad. We just talked about this. And Russ, he's in a bad offense. Like he's not.
Dak not in a bad offense when they force him to throw 50, 60 yards down the field.
I'm saying the play calling with but Dak can do those things.
No, he clearly can't.
Y'all saying losing. No. Y'all be saying that Dak can do those things.
No, I ain't never said that. Never said that.
Okay, well, other Cowboys saying Dak can do
Cowboys.
Dak can do that. Dak thrown for what? 4,000 yards. He's a thrower. He's a pass first guy. Look, you paying this man all that money.
Cam, we played one game, Cam.
I understand that though. But you paying him all this money. He got to throw at least 35, 40 times a game.
Cam, he played one game.
This nigga is not Josh Allen, bro.
My only issue with him getting that much money is that he haven't won anything. That's my only take.
A lot of quarterbacks have the Cam.
That's my only take. A lot of quarterbacks are getting. That's not just him though. A lot of quarterbacks are getting that much money and haven't won anything. That's my only take. Like if you think about it, a lot of quarterbacks that get that much money. That's why they can't surround their team with like talent.
It's just the system. The cap gonna keep on rising though.
I know the cap gonna keep on rising, and the quarterback's play gonna keep on declining.
Because the quarterback playing across the league look awful right now.
Like think about it. Every time a player gets the bag, they go down. And I'm not like, for example, a non-quarterback, Jalen Ramsey, when he was in Jacksonville, when he was a little sassy, that man was a dog. That man was a dog when he was sassy. Since he got that bag, bro, he's been getting burned by everybody. Everybody. Like literally, like he's not in my opinion right now, he's not playing like the top 5 defensive back he usually plays.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Okay, so let's put this in. So you saying that teams are paying them from what they done already?
Some are playing from what they done already, and some just paying them because they don't want to lose them. But once they get the bag, they don't be lost. They just stop playing like I usually do. Like they not hungry anymore.
So what you want the team to do though? So like you don't want to lose a guy like Jalen Ramsey. You don't want to lose a guy like Dak Prescott on your team. So like what do you want to do?
Pay him like Jimmy G then. If you want him to throw 25 times a game, pay him like Jimmy G.
I wouldn't say pay him like Jimmy G. But what I would say was make him like somebody like Dak. I would be like, okay, if you really want like this big, like a longer bag, like you know what I'm saying, go past the divisional round. Like they haven't got past that round. Yeah. And they could have did last year when they had clock management. They ain't had an issue with clock management. They could have beat the Rams. They could force overtime.
Yeah. And that's on Dak. But I'm saying they were still like they have more weapons, so you can make an argument for them throwing the ball a little bit more and then you can pin it more on Dak for not producing. But with the way their roster was set up this year and all the pieces they lost on the offensive side of the ball, they should have never in the right mind even tried to go out there from the jump versus Tampa Bay and go spread and tell Dak, go beat this defense for us. Like, they were running the ball perfectly well. And yes, some games they might need him to throw a 35 times. But the formula for them to win is Dak throw it probably 25 to 30 times, and Zeke and Pollard probably get 30 or so rushes or 30 touches at the very least. That's how they going to win. And, like, if they can do that with this defense, like you said before they came out, they're unstoppable. Because Dak's going to be able to manage the game great because that's what he can do. But if you're going to tell him, yeah, Dak, go throw the ball 45 times and let's rush the ball about 11 times and let's go try to win this game. That's not going to happen a lot. You're going to go 3 and out, or you're going to be behind the sticks with a holding penalty here and there, like Cam said.
With that Tampa game, I think they was just looking at last year's game and how they came out so hot. And they wanted to just do that again or implement that again. And hopefully they come out on the winning side of it. But that first game of the season, now that I see this team, this defense, man, Dak going to be all right, man. Dak going to be all right. And now that Cooper Rush coming in with Dak being hurt, yeah, that helped him a lot. So, but I do want to talk about Cam Eagles again, Swan. I want to talk about Swan
look,
Eagles
I was
again.
gonna touch on them next.
But Cam Silk has something to say.
I was going to ask one last question. Is Dak a game manager or is he a game winner?
A game
Both,
manager
Cam.
that can win.
No, there's no.
With the right
not,
pieces around
it's
him.
not possible. It's
Cam,
not.
what do
possible.
you get out of this, bro?
It's
Why,
not
why-
possible.
What sense does that question make? What point are you trying to make with that question?
Is he a game manager or is he a game winner? Is
Okay.
he?
Close
But what
to
is
the
that?
mic
But
like
what
that,
is it?
ladies.
Is he Patrick Mahomes or is he Jimmy Garoppolo?
Obviously, he's not
he's
Patrick
not
Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes.
What does that have to do
Who
with the
is
Houston
Patrick
Texans?
Mahomes?
He's a better Jimmy G.
We talking about the Cowboys and Eagles.
No, bro, because you always trying to say something negative, bro.
No, this segment is about the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. This ain't got shit to do with the Houston Texans.
I'm just saying, bro. This
Nah,
nigga,
we
he
gonna
always
talk
got
to them.
something negative to say, bro.
Y'all just got y'all first win.
Okay, man.
Again, this segment is about the Dallas
Nah,
Cowboys.
don't
and the
deflate.
Philadelphia-
Don't
and the
deflate.
Okay.
I feel like we gonna have a good season.
Look. We about to
I
switch
feel
it.
like we gonna have a
switch it
good
up.
season.
We're gonna switch it up. Okay, so the next question I had, and this for you, Cam. This is about your Eagles.
Mhm.
Well, y'all 5-0, look great. I mean, in the NFL, you got to find a way to win games. Y'all winning games right now, so can't knock it. The one concern I have, which I think can maybe be a problem this weekend, is for whatever reason, and you could probably tell me better since you're watching all the games through and through. For some reason, in the second half, y'all stopped producing. I don't know if it's Sirianni's calling plays different or if Jalen's playing different, but y'all haven't been a great second half team. But luckily, y'all played so good in the first half that y'all been able to, still have amenugh cushion to be good in that second half, not scoring really. But these last couple weeks, like Arizona came back, they have a chance to send to overtime if Amendola doesn't miss the kick. Like you said, the Lions game week 1, the Lions charge back in the second half and they almost come back and win. This week with Dallas defense, if y'all can't put up points in the second half, and then if the Dallas defense is able to get a turnover here or there and set up Cooper Rush in great field position where he ain't got to do much, they might be able to pull it off in my mind. But what do you think the problem is with the second half, and how you think y'all fix that this weekend?
I'm glad you said that because that's something I've been concerned about too. The one thing I noticed is that the roster itself, like they get way too comfortable in the second half. Like they feel like any opposing team they go against is not gonna come back. And to look at it this year, even the teams we didn't think that will be producing well, like the Lions and Jaguars are producing well. So it showed you that like even the Giants are 4-1. You know what I'm saying? You got teams that we didn't even think that'd be like, beating great teams like Green Bay and stuff are dominating. So it shows you that we can't take these teams lightly. I feel like in the second half, they just get lazy. I'll be honest with you. That's the only way I can say it. They just get super lazy. Like the offensive coordinator, they just stopped doing the plays they were originally doing. If you look at the yardage, like in the first half, we probably had like 200 yards, 300 yards. And in the second half, we're going to have like 50 to 100. They just get like super lazy and just think that they're not going to come back. It's not like their ego getting away in a sense. I think the one thing we can fix for sure is that keep the ball rolling. I know that at one point they were trying to force the throws. I know for example, when we played the last game against Arizona, AJ Brown had 3 catches for like 32 yards. And after that, they stopped feeding him the ball. Now they start running and stuff. Once they were throwing him the ball, he was just dominating DBs because Arizona got, besides Byron Murphy, they only had like one of the best DBs and giving sometimes to Budda Baker as well. If you keep doing the same play that's dominating the team, why we switch it up? So I feel like in the second half, they get way too comfortable in this thing. Like, we're just gonna just do whatever. Dallas is a great defense. I give y'all credit's due. I watched the last game. Y'all dominated Matt Stafford like it was nothing. I got that defense on my fantasy. They gave me like 40-some points. Like, they on it. I think that's the one thing they're gonna fear, like just stopping that pass rush with Michael Parsons and Lawrence. But if we can keep the same momentum going to that, especially this is a rival, NFC rival, this is just not an ordinary team going against. This is somebody we've been clashing since the playoffs. So if we can somehow have that same momentum and Jalen Hurts can continue that heroic speeches he be doing, and they can actually listen for once and not just say, yeah, and be on Instagram live and dancing, like actually listen, And I think the one thing is they just way too comfortable. Like Nick, he just like let them do whatever. But I feel like in this game, he gonna have to say, hey, like I'm gonna coach. Like the first 4 or 5 games, you know what I'm saying? I'll let y'all do free plays and do whatever. But this game, I'm gonna have to coach, you know. And that's just something they're gonna do. And then I feel like we had like a cakewalk schedule. Like I'll be honest with you, it's me being a fan. We had probably one of the easiest schedules.
Yeah.
And in the second half, we always struggle against that schedule. So that says something that we need to put our foot on the gas. And I just stopped because we have an easy lead. Like we was 24-0 against the Vikings, and they came back in the second half. You know, they scored on that shit. That should never happen. It should have been a shutout or close to like a 1 TD and stuff. Even though we were shutting down Jefferson, that stuff like that, for example. So I feel like the problem is Nick, he stopped coaching in the second half. That's probably the biggest factor. And I feel like seeing them games, I think for sure he's gonna start coaching. That's what I think. I believe he's gonna coach.
Chris, I like that one, Chris.
I'm sorry. I had to
I need that one, my boy.
This man changed his background.
I need that one, Chris.
It was an eyesore, bro. It was an eyesore.
Nah, that's what it is, though. They just get way too comfortable in the second half. Like that's pretty much all it is.
All right, I feel you. I like the answer. Because I've been wondering, like, I try to tune in sometimes with the Eagles game, but I got the Sunday ticket, so I'll just be playing a mix. So I'll be watching all the games, trying to keep track. But I've been peeping the box scores, and I'm like putting up 3 points in the second half, putting up only a touchdown, no points. And then the Jacksonville game was the one outlier, but Trevor Lawrence just turned the ball over way too much in that game. And I'm like, I don't know if they're just changing something, but they're going to have to get together for this Dallas game. But to end this episode, I want to give y'all each an opportunity, because I'm sure, you know, y'all, Chris and Cam Davis, y'all think y'all about to win this weekend. Cam, I know you think y'all about to win this weekend. So I want y'all to give us a couple reasons why you see the outcome coming out in your favor this weekend. Like why are the Cowboys gonna win? So I'll pass to you, Chris, first. Let me know why you think Cowboys gonna win this weekend. And I want to say first, I'm pretty sure from what I seen earlier today, it sounds like Dak is still not playing. Which as long as the defense is playing the way it is and Cooper Rush can do enough to get you wins, I would not rush him back because you're going to need him healthy to make a legitimate Super Bowl run. So Cooper Rush will probably be playing. So keep that in mind. But let me know why you think your boy's going to get the dub this weekend, man.
I mean, earlier I hadn't really considered the run game that the Eagles claim they have. But when it comes to Jalen Hurts, in my opinion, he's the X factor in the Eagles winning in our defense. I would say that when I'm watching the highlights, because I don't catch Eagles games, when I'm watching the highlights, most of the big plays that Jalen Hurts that he's making is when he's rushing out of the pocket, bro. Like he has a lot of time to get out of the pocket and watch his receivers get open, and he can make plays that way. And I'm hoping that with the way our defense have been playing, the way we're able to rush the QB, the way we're able to break down their O-lines, the O-lines that we played so far, that we can give him less time in the pocket. I think when we do that, we make him uncomfortable. And we keep him in the pocket. Don't let him run out. We keep him in the pocket. We make him lose that time in the pocket. I think we make him uncomfortable like that, then we can destroy that passing game. I ain't really thought much about the running game. I'm not gonna lie. It doesn't seem like a concern, but I guess I gotta pay closer attention to that because I ain't think about that.
Okay. Cam Davis, why you think your boy's gonna pull out the dub, man? Let us know.
2 reasons, guys. 2 reasons. You know, first with the Eagles, they ain't played no damn body. You know what I'm saying? They ain't played nobody, right? The Lions, okay, they put up points against y'all. All right. The Vikings, that's a mediocre team, right? That got some good players offensively. The Commanders,
that was their best game
Jaguars, right there. And then the Cardinals, that's a mediocre team. They have good players, but they're not a good team. And now they like on a losing streak at home. So the Eagles ain't played nobody, man. They got a real test. And then the second reason, the Cowboys defense. They finger looking good, man. And I mean, I don't like to get too high, but hey, 11-7, 7-11, them boys the truth. Them boys the truth. Ain't they right, Cam? Trayvon Diggs, talk to me.
Oh, he's still getting his ass burnt.
I ain't gonna lie. Last game he did not perform, bro.
Yeah, I know.
He was
He-
pissing me
he-
off, bro.
but-
Cooper Cup, bro. It's Cooper Cup, bro.
But Micah Parsons
was
is
cooking
his
his
best
ass.
friend. Micah Parsons get to the quarterback so quick, it made
He don't
Trayvon
have to
Diggs.
guard, so-
He don't
Yeah.
have to guard for that long. And as long as y'all get that pass rush, Trayvon Diggs gonna eat. Cause he gonna be there to jump a route. But if he get a little extra time, you see, what can happen.
Yeah.
And Cooper Kupp, that boy got some wheels. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
What?
for sure.
I don't know why people don't think he's like fast. Like, you don't get as many catches he does if you can't get away from defenders. Oh, I know why. But that boy got some wheels. And when he took off on them, I was like, yeah, I know.
Said, damn. I said, he can't catch this nigga, bro. He ran through 3 niggas, bro.
But Cam Swann, man, I know you hear everything Chris and Cam Davis have said, man. But I know in your heart of heart, you don't believe that shit, man.
Yeah, you do.
At
Yeah, you
home,
do.
at Philly, that crowd about to go crazy. Tell us why your boys, by the end of Sunday night, they'll be 6-0.
Look, I got 3 reasons. All right, so the first reason is home advantage, always. I'm gonna just say that off rip. The second reason is that our O-line from Lane Johnson and Kelsey, they haven't let a sack happen on their end since 2020. Since 2020, since the pandemic. Come on, man. I'm not hearing that. Regardless of Micah Parsons, they haven't allowed a sack since then. I'm not even discrediting Micah Parsons, but they have not allowed that since 2020. I'm sorry. I'm not doing that. And then third is that we're not like the Rams. Outside of Cooper Kupp, Matt Stafford's only feeding him the ball. It's like he allergic to throwing it to Allen Robinson. I'm sorry. He get the mumps or something for throwing it to him. But we have 3 receivers and a tight end that we can easily throw it to. So when you have Trayvon and Anthony Brown, trash. I'm sorry. I don't like him.
I
But
playing good this year.
No, I ain't gonna lie. I be bashing Anthony Brown.
I know.
I'm so sorry.
I be
He's
bashing
doing all
Anthony
right.
Brown, bro.
He
He
doing
did good
better
last
this
game,
year.
though. He did good last game. He
That's what
locked
I'm
up
saying.
Cooper Kupp when
But
he was
last
on.
year, no.
No.
But
Change the number.
I'm saying usually with Dallas, I watched the game last time. They like to run the zone with their corners. So with that being said, if you're gonna try to double team a receiver like AJ, a physical receiver, you still have 2 other receivers and a tight end that's open. And then let's not forget that Dallas Goedert is literally, I think, 3rd in the league in yards after catch for a tight end at that. So like if you want to double team AJ or double team Devonte, you still have other people open. And then on top of it, like he said, Jalen's a playmaker. So he can give enough time to pocket to where he can run and get more yards. That's kind of,
But you depending on Jalen having a lot of time in the pocket.
That's why I'm getting to
depending on
that.
a lot,
That's why I'm
Chris.
getting to that.
He depending on a lot, Chris.
But that's why I'm getting to that. Y'all saying, okay, so y'all can put a rush. Okay, you still have these other receivers that are gonna be open. That's what I'm saying. Y'all gonna be double teaming AJ. Most likely, y'all gonna double team AJ because he's a physical receiver. None of y'all DBs are his size. I'm sorry, they're not. They're great on the zone, but man to man, no. You seen what happened with Cooper Kupp on what's his name Diggs last time. So nobody's gonna guard AJ 1-on-1. So y'all gonna have to double him, leaving Devonte, and Devonte got speed, and Kes Watkins literally the fastest receiver behind Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle in the league. Literally one of the fastest receivers. So he's gonna be waddling down the hill.
Bro.
Then on top of it, you still got Dallas Goedert who can block as well. So that's what I'm saying. It's too many weapons on offense.
But
Then
you're
letting
still
on our
depending on
defense
Jalen
alone.
Hurts delivering the ball.
But I'm saying, letting on our defense alone, we're literally top 5 in the defense as well. Now I will admit, in the second half, we can do better. But what I'm saying, that pass rush is getting better too. Then on top of that, you still have the dynamic duos of DBs within Bradbury and Slay. Like, come on. No.
I don't know, bro. I don't. My hope is that Jalen Hurts is not going to get off the ball as much as you think. My biggest concern though is us putting up points ourselves though. That's my.
That's why I was gonna say the defense only could do so much. So if y'all can't get any offense going,
Defense wins championships, Swan.
yeah, we need some offense to also get over the hill too.
No, I picked up Brett Maher on my fantasy just because I know he gonna get at least 3 field goals a game. We don't get no touchdowns for whatever reason most times.
So it's gonna be definitely that's gonna be the risky part. I love y'all offense. I mean, I love y'all defense, but that offense gonna need to score. I need to run the ball more, especially.
Yeah, Yeah, man.
Yeah,
That
I agree
that's
with
probably
that.
my biggest concern for the Cowboys was if the Eagles are able to put some pressure on y'all that y'all haven't seen so far this season, will Cooper Rush be able to respond? And then the defense, while they're playing great, I mean, y'all haven't played a mobile quarterback yet this season. So if he does, if Jalen Hurts is able to break out of the pocket a few times, or maybe he does get Micah or Lawrence to whiff on a sack and he escapes the pocket and can get some yards with his leg or throw the ball down the field once he breaks out the pocket, that'll be interesting to see. But then, like I said, on that back end, that second half if y'all defense start putting pressure on Philly and they already haven't been producing the second half, if that switches the game any type of way. But my gut feeling, I think if Philly's gonna win, it's gonna be on a field goal on the last minute drive. If not that, I think Dallas whoops y'all. I'm not gonna lie, because I think that defense might be able to make it real tough. And if the second half goes how it's been going, Cooper Rush won't have to do that much. But like I said, I think y'all could definitely win, but it's gonna be like a Jalen statement game. Like he puts the team on his back, and like he has one of them statement drives where it's like, yeah, people are doubting me, but I'm here for real, so give me some respect. So I'm definitely excited to see it. Sunday night is gonna be a hell of a show. Can't wait. But that wraps up this episode, man. I appreciate y'all listening all the way through. It's a little bit longer episode, but hey, man, the boys are back. As you can see, we had a lot to talk about. Cowboys versus Eagles, Sunday night, NBC. Don't want to miss it. We might have to do a follow-up podcast next week just to see, who gonna be able to have the bragging rights. But like I said, man, appreciate y'all for tuning in. I Need It Sports Podcast. Y'all already know what it is, man. And we out. I need it. Yes, sir.
I need it.